Hey, this is Evan with Killer Dog BBQ, and you're listening to the So Smokin' Gooder Show.
Hey, we got any more beer in here? All right, I'm sorry. I won't talk again. I'm sorry. I'm done. All right, go ahead, Robbie.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the So Smokin' Gooder Show. Thank you for tuning back in. We don't do this consistently, but we do like to do it, and we do have fun doing it. And when we do it, it's important. This weekend, we've got a big show. We got Sean Larkin coming up here in a little bit with the Dirty Underwear Gang. We got somebody to introduce to you guys, James Cruse, out of Louisiana with Central City BBQ. He's going to be on after Sean, probably about 9:25 or so. And then to close it out, the big double Husky picnic doubleheader this weekend in Hempstead. The promoter is Robert Smith with First Class BBQ. He will be on to close out the show tonight. So, like I said, we got a full-packed show tonight. Excited to bring it to you. My name is Rob Rocha, and I'm coming to you, as always, from the Bullhorn headquarters in Cypress, Texas. My new partner, let me introduce my new partner, everybody, Mr. Case Hahn. How are you doing, Case?
I think I've been here for a few years.
You have, but you look different. I can't put my finger on it. It's the glasses. I think you got new glasses.
It's the glasses and the hat, and so I got my Bullhorn shirt on. I'm going to go as Rob Rocha for Halloween.
I said, man, you need to grow the beard out, and we're Twinkies, man. You're looking good, man.
Some things are impossible, though, so this will never happen. I'm going on about a month right now.
So,
what's up, everybody out there in Barbecue Nation? Thanks for tuning in. We avoided a hurricane. Pretty excited about that. I think we had planned to do a show last week, and then my wife woke me up Tuesday morning and said the storm had gotten bigger, and I nearly died putting up shutters. And I still have 3 more that are on the house currently that I just haven't got the urge. So any of those who've ever watched those infomercials about the little giant ladder, they're full of crap. And so, because I've got, I almost died. And so I need a bigger ladder because I extended the little giant all the way out and, almost died. But the shutters got up. And then, of course, everyone out there in Houston can thank me because, unfortunately, for our friends in Louisiana, stay away from Houston because I put the shutters up. So you're welcome.
Well, it did take a turn to the east for us, basically in between James in New Orleans and us in Houston. And, man, Lake Charles looks like they got hit pretty hard. And shout-outs to all the people that are with Operation Barbecue Relief. I know they've already headed out there. I saw Paul Carnell. He's already made 2 trips out there. Boot Shooters Barbecue, they've been around, and they're out there feeding some people. So hats off to all you guys doing the good work. And I know there's relief efforts coming through in Houston and other people. I know Whitmire's one of our big supporters is also a big part of that. So crazy. I got shopping.
Prayers for everybody involved, but hats off. And if you're watching the show, you probably know about Operation Barbecue Relief, what we call OBR. If you're new and you haven't heard about them, look them up. Let's be honest, don't waste your money with the Red Cross. If you want your food, if you want your money and donations to go to a group of just kick-ass volunteers that make fantastic meals for people in some of the worst situations you can be going through. It is OBR and Operation Barbecue Relief. I challenge anyone who's watching the show that's never heard of them, look them up, and they're just a fantastic organization that serves real food made by real cooks. A lot of them are our friends, and hats off to all the guys that packed up and are able to go do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So a lot of comments, Case, already about your weight loss. They're coming in. One was, how much weight have you lost? Who's the skinny bastard on the right?
That's terrible.
And Caleb wants to know, I'm not even going to repeat that right now, but you can read it. Maynard says, who's the skinny guy with Rob? Yes. So anyway, Anyway, so lots of comments on Case. What are you doing to lose all this weight? That's what I want to ask you.
Not eating 2,000 calories at McDonald's every morning like I had been in the past.
Yeah, that helps.
That basically, when you start actually watching what you eat, you realize how bad you were eating and drinking sweet tea by the gallon. So nothing too crazy, just kind of watching what we're up to. And I'm not gonna lie, I had 3 chili dogs for dinner tonight. So if 3 chili dogs for dinner is a way to lose weight, I think I've got a sponsorship with Oscar Mayer coming.
Well, the old Case would have had how many for dinner?
Let's not go there.
But anyway,
probably 4.
That's not the only thing you're doing to lose weight. You're moonlighting. You got a side gig. Tell us about this side gig. I know
nonstop. It seems like these days, and so still doing the retail thing, and love what I do for Best Buy, and it's a really, really weird world in retail right now, and so started playing around with some ideas. My position is still existence and still working for those guys and all that kind of stuff, but started bouncing around some ideas, and one of the guys, Andrew, over at Class BBQ in Santa Fe is a close friend of mine. It's 10 minutes from the house, and no Texans, no tailgating this year, and so
it's not true.
Not tailgating the way we exist, or we normally have it. So
right.
But been about a month worth of Sundays at Cats, and it's definitely a learning curve. So we've talked to a lot of guys, Caleb and Aaron and Robert Smith will be on later, and guys that do this barbecue thing not just for competition. Man, it's been an eye-opening experience, but it's been a fun one. So
yeah, one of our guests. Well, actually, you mentioned Robert, but James also, he has a restaurant out in New Orleans. I'm pretty sure he's in New Orleans. In fact, I know he's in New Orleans, but he can talk to you a little bit about that. I'd like to hear his points. You've been at how many shifts you done now? 4 or 5?
4. Yeah, 4. I'm not an expert by no means.
Yeah, that's a different world.
When I can tell you that the first, when you walk in and truth be told, I've never sliced a brisket with anything other than my electric knife.
Really?
And so all of a sudden you walk in and they go, "Here's a knife, and by the way, we're going to serve a boatload of people in an hour." And so it's a lot of fun though. I get to I've sliced more ribs, and I've come to find out that only my competition ribs are the ones with crooked bones.
That's it. The other ones are perfectly straight.
Ones everything at the restaurant is amazingly straight. My ribs at competition are the only ones that have crooked bones.
Before we get too far into this show, I do want to give shout-outs to our sponsors. So they're a big part of this show. Eureka Heights Brewing Company, Carbach Brewing, hello, RecTech Grills, Bull Printing Wraps and Graphics. They've been with us from the get, coming up on, or did we just pass it? We just passed 3 years, Case. I didn't realize that. Rick's RV and Repair, and of course the barbecue store out in Hempstead, Texas. Thank you guys very much for sticking with us and being a part of this show. We do appreciate it. But I just wanted to get, because sometimes when we get into the show, we tag them at the end. But I want to bring them out at the beginning because they're a big part of this deal. So waiting on Sean Larkin to get in, but I did his cook-off last weekend. That was fun.
Got the trophy?
I do. Waiting for Sean to bust it out, but I do have the trophy. Screw it.
Do you still have the trophy in the frame? Or are you actually wearing the trophy?
I can't wear the trophy. It's pretty large.
You can't.
They're like 5X. Did y'all go get glasses together? No, Danielle, we did not go get glasses together. So Sean had a really cool cook-off, and I was thinking he was going to be on to talk about it, and he will be here in a minute. But he's probably having trouble finding, I don't know what he's doing. But so we went to his cook-off, which was at Jim's place, which was out at I-45 and Beltway 8 in Houston, Texas. So we went out there. 14 teams gathered. It was a fun cook-off. There was Butterworth there, Poe Meskin, Adam Martinez, some other guys, Omar Charles, I believe.
Shadle, Hickle. There's a lot.
Shadle,
A lot of
Hickle,
good cooks.
Lee Hickle, yeah, Sean Larkin, he competed. Fong Vong, can't forget Fong. We had a good time. Good time. He brought out a new scoring system, which I really like. I mean, obviously I liked. I GC'd it, but that's not why I liked it. I liked it just because you get, you know how I've always said on the show, I like to know where you end up, you know, and I also like contests where says we are in. You are not in, Seth. We're waiting on you. Click the link that I sent you earlier. Hang on, let me send them a new link. They're trying to get in right now. Bear with me, people. This is talk to him, Case. Talk to him while I get
The
this
new
going.
scoring system. What was the? Do you really want to see where you finished?
Well, yeah. It reminded me. Remember when we did that Super Bowl cook-off where there was 15 teams there and they called out all 15?
That was awful.
And no one wanted.
That was one of the most amazing experiences. So while Rob's working on that, we when Houston hosted the Super Bowl most recently, there was a 15-team shootout there at the Super Bowl. But they announced everything. So anybody who's done competitions, you really want to hear your number call. Well, that was completely different because we didn't want to hear our number called.
No.
And so you would sit there and when you finally, unless you were first, you know, or second or third in each category, but you knew who was going to be 15, but you would sit there, and I think we hit like an 8th place something, and we were, you know, just disappointed.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's that was almost as because you knew you were going to hear your number call, but you didn't want to hear it.
Yeah.
I'd rather just go tell everybody I got a final table and go about my business.
All right.
But, yeah.
The boys are in. There they are. Sean Larkin.
We're here. Yes, good over touch.
And Seth Rodrigue. How do you say your name, Seth?
No, you're not even close, brother. Rodrigue, like Rodriguez without the Z.
Well,
That doesn't help us.
pretty damn close. Nice lighting you got there, fellas.
Is that mood lighting?
Ambiance.
What are y'all doing? Are you
We
still?
had a couple of choices.
Are you still at the cook-off right now?
Practice.
All right. So I don't know if you heard what I tried to describe about your cook-off, but I want you guys to basically let us know why you guys did that. What were you trying to accomplish with it, and did you meet all your goals?
Well, I mean, the first thing we were trying to do was make a cook's cook-off. You know, we were bored out of our mind not cooking, and you know, we put out a Facebook thread and asked, you know, all our buddies that cook what they'd like to see in a cook-off, because we know what we'd like to see. You know, single table judging, you know, quick turn-in times, those sorts of things. That's what we like. You know, that's what we want. We like to cook the IBCA meat, so that's kind of where we started, and then just took a whole bunch of requests or suggestions from our buddies that cook and kind of molded it from there.
And we wanted to try to say, hey, this is how IBCA could be. But at the end of it, we were kind of like, why don't we just make something better that everybody wants? And I think that's where we kind of ended up at the end. There's obviously still some improvements to be made, but that was the ultimate goal.
What was the number one thing that you said I'm going to do differently?
Single round judging.
And
then it'd be the turn-in times that was like the most requested, and I think everybody really enjoyed it.
What do you think the draw is for a single round of judging?
Well, I think you're judged on hot food and appearance right away outside the box. You know, you don't. I know in IBCA we did have Cindy Niles there, who was an IBCA head judge, to kind of help a little bit. You know, but you know, they say in IBCA don't judge appearance on the next tables. You know, if you go to 2 or 3 tables, but it's hard not to. Because you know, I've judged many years ago. It's hard not to. So you get hot food. Your appearance is fresh off the pit. You know, I think that gives a better representation of what you're actually cooking as opposed to a cold brisket, you know, an hour later.
And you also got 3 scores from each judge, where, you know, with some of our other sanctioning bodies that we're familiar with around here, you get 1 score combined of what they think it should be combined. There's a multiplier on everything. So, appearance was only 9.9%, then taste was almost 60%, and then appearance was 31%. So there were tenderness, excuse me. So you had a multiplier in there. So you couldn't just get killed on one category, but, it was just even across the board, and you got 3 scores.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, it's and I think a lot of people are open to that discussion. To your point about doing judging, I recently did a final table at a 70-team cook-off for brisket. And to your point, I know damn good and well the guys that walk turn in fantastic briskets. And the one thing I learned is never to walk out and say I wasn't all that impressed with all the brisket except for maybe 2. Because then about 6 guys around me walked, and I know they're damn good cooks, but that product that I had wasn't what I know those guys can turn in.
Yeah.
That's ideal. I mean, we know everybody that was at our cook-off can pretty much cook, so
it was a stacked field.
We wanted it to be that way. Like, judging should be hot food. I mean, cold food's no good unless, the next day you put it in the microwave, it's good. But, cold food, judging cold food just, to me, doesn't seem right.
Yeah. I went back and looked at the top 4 scores and calculated if those people would have got points just off the IBCA points of, only the top 10 gets points. Those people would have been in the exact same order that they were.
So your judges, what kind of instruction or any did they get going into it? And these weren't obviously they were not certified because we don't have a certification for this, but were most of them just people off the street, people you knew, or what kind of background did they have?
Yeah, I mean, yes. I mean, they were. It's the same quality of judges as the IBCA has. I mean, we're getting guys off the street. Since we were throwing the cook-off, we tried to get as little as people that have eaten our barbecue, which actually I'd say 95% of the people that did judge had never tasted our food. So we were trying to make it fair in that regard. And I ran the judging area while he cooked, so I was never in our trailer at all. And we did give them instructions, hey, the main instruction we gave them is base each piece of meat on its own merit, not versus the next guy that you take, the first piece of meat you taste versus this one. It's on its own merit, There's a few things I think when I was instructing the judges that I missed that I probably should have, gone over a little bit better. Chicken skin being one of them. I did not mention, hey, chicken skin's part of the chicken. You want to make sure that you're getting a bite of that, or however you like it. I wish I had mentioned that a little bit more, but overall, I think the judging went well. And the main thing was what these judges want, or these people, what you guys think is good barbecue. If you think it's good, give it a good score. If you don't, don't. One thing we did do is the starting score was a 7. We started everybody at a 7. The lowest you could get was a 4, and the highest you could get was a 10. And we did half-point increments. But the starting point for everybody was a 7. That's average, right? So we're assuming everybody's average coming in until you taste and look and things like that.
Gotcha.
There were some tough judges out there.
Yeah, but to your point about that lowest is a 4, I've been at some tables, you're not supposed to talk, but let's be honest, some judges talk, and man, those guys that throw out the 1s and 2s, I'm going, come on, man.
We didn't want anybody to be. We also kicked out the lowest score, so you had 6 judges on a table that judged your meat. So your lowest score got kicked out, but we also didn't want someone's meat just to get kicked out because there was a hard judge on the table. And another thing that we did was after each round, we made the judges get up and go to different tables and mix in with different people. Oh, that's cool. So it wasn't always one hard table. We mixed the judges as the cook went on.
That was good.
Which I think that's an original.
Yeah, no, that's nice. What I liked about this contest, these are the sheets. I know you can't see; they're very tiny. But I like getting one of these in my hand. At the end of a contest, you get one of these in your hand. You can see where you maybe, if you're tweaking something, you can see if that worked or didn't work. You also had comments, so a lot of your judges left comments, good or bad. Yeah, right there.
You got these comment cards at the end.
So we each got some comments, good or bad, or how it went. And that's always a plus whenever you have something like that. I know that maybe something this weekend, I don't know what that clicking noise is, but that's going to happen as well. So, do you hear that clicking noise, Case?
Yeah, it's not.
Is that us?
Maybe.
So how much money in bribe money was in that brisket box that Ross turned in?
I don't know. We didn't look. That's the other thing we didn't do is we didn't look at any meats before it came in. Because if we had, I'd take it.
One of the criteria was we asked everybody to turn in 2 chicken halves, 9 ribs, and 9 slices of brisket. But we weren't going to look at it. If you didn't have that in there, it could hurt your appearance score. But that's all it could do. You weren't going to get DQ'd for anything, but it was the criteria of the appearance. So everybody kind of turned in equal amounts of everything.
How big is that underwear back there?
I think that's a 5XL. Are you looking at the Grand Champion one?
Yeah, that's the Grand Champion one.
Special order.
Come by the trailer this weekend. I have a flag made out of one of them. That's the same size as the flag that we have hanging.
Awesome.
It's you.
That is great. You made a flag out of it. Perfect. Well, guys, I really enjoyed.
They were thrown together there last minute too. I mean, this whole thing was thrown together pretty quickly, and we think it turned out great. It was a great time. I mean, hell, the main thing for us is we just wanted to cook and have fun, play loud music, and
we didn't think of the trophy idea until Monday.
We kind of accomplished that. Sure.
Danny Regan was there. He said, "Great concept." He got to see it firsthand. Shadow wants to know how his pit's doing. I guess he left it over there.
We're actually going to be auctioning that off here pretty soon. So stick around.
If Shadow doesn't come in the next week, his pit's going to be auctioned off. He's also got a nice Traeger there as well.
He's got a loud ass generator for anybody's.
Yes, he does.
So if Walmart was sold out of 5XL underwear,
no, we had a special order of those. I'm going to stop you right there. We had a special order. The largest I could find at Walmart was XX, so I had a special order of those.
But
Amazon for anybody that needs them.
The question for each of you: if you couldn't have found them with 5X, which one cook were you going to reach out to besides CJB?
Which one cook? You know the answer to that. You know the answer to that.
Which cook were you going to ask to borrow some George?
Is he watching?
There he is. My boy.
He might be watching. I don't know. Hey, but are there any plans?
The thing you got about the trophies was that they weren't stained.
There you go. Well, are there any plans to do another one of these?
Yeah, I would say there's probably bigger plans than just doing one more, to be honest with you. We got great feedback from everybody that was out there. Hell, we're going to kind of this weekend maybe discuss with some people that were out there that kind of know, maybe this is something we get into and something we branch out and maybe compete with IBCA and KCBS. We're looking into that, I'll be honest with you. There's a lot of legalese and stuff that go into starting something like this, but it's not something I think that's going to go away. And I think we are going to try to possibly do a couple more and then see if we can't grow it even bigger.
And the original people that came are going to have first refusal, but we were limited on space there.
Yeah.
We've been offered another place that's just north of Huntsville that is closer to 100 acres. So, maybe the next one will hold up there. I know it's a little bit of travel for everybody, but we could sure accommodate a lot more teams that way.
Well, congratulations. I think it went off swimmingly. I thought it was great. I'd love to do another one. If anybody's watching, there are people watching, but when you see this and they come up with another one, I encourage you to attend. It was a lot of fun. I do not know what that clicking noise is, but I do encourage you guys to attend, and it's going to be it was fun. And I got to tell you, man, I had a blast. Not only the cook-off.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, I know you had a good time.
But just not because of that. Just because the Friday night was fun. The Saturday afterwards was fun. They had a DJ. They had dancing. They had cornhole. It was a lot of fun, man. It was just a good time. A lot of camaraderie between the cooks, and it's just one of those cook-offs where you enjoyed throughout the entire time, and that was just the icing on the cake. So, congratulations on a successful event. Dirty Underwear Gang, and we're looking forward to the next one, man.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it. We will. We'll see you guys this weekend. I would like to say, hey, be looking for. I'm going to post on our page a raffle for some custom-made cornhole boards, and all the proceeds are going to go to Josh and Christine Wilkinson with Pops and Son Smokers. We're going to do something for them, and we're going to donate for them for any of their needs they want. We want to let them know that they're in our prayers, and we're thinking about them, from us to them, from a barbecue family. It's very terrible what happened. So
Yes.
I'm going to post. We're going to have a raffle for our custom-made cornhole boards, and we're going to donate all the proceeds to them.
Great. Let us know. We'll promote and
We'll
get the
share
word
it.
out. Yeah.
That will do. Hey, thanks, guys.
All right, boys.
See you guys.
Thank you very much, guys.
Take care.
All right, that was Sean and Seth from the Dirty Underwear Gang, and we did figure out where the clicking noise came from.
Can we get your screen as big as possible, and so we see the close up of that? Is that your most prized possession, the GC trophy?
Why don't I just bring it up? You want to see it?
Yes, we want to see it. We want to see it.
Okay.
Make your screen bigger.
All right, I'll
I
make
can
my
go
screen
away
bigger.
for a little bit.
I'm trying to get the shadows out of the way. There we go. How do I make mine? How do I make mine bigger? That's what she said.
Without the there you
we
go. Now we're talking.
So it says Dirty Underwear Gang Cook-Off 2020 Grand Champion.
In the comments below, tag the cook, CJ Bean, that you think they might have stole those underwear from. Now, comment away.
Okay. You're trying to start some trouble, man.
Not me. I'm on a diet.
You're not you. No, not you. All right. Well, that was, guys. That was the Sean and Seth from the Dirty Underwear Gang. They had a successful cook-off, like I said earlier. If you guys, if they do that, when they do that again, I highly suggest you guys get on board, because that was a lot of fun. Just from the Friday night, dinner. Fong made his. What did Fong make that day? He made gumbo. Friday night, and then we had Saturday, of course, the contest. And another thing, their contest was done early. Our last turn-in was at 1:30, I believe, and awards were at 2:30. So a lot of fun, man. A lot of fun. Good time.
And congratulations to Robert Shadle, our friend from Smoke Eaters with the reserve there. And to the point, a lot of really good cooks there. And
Yeah.
so sometimes those fields can be just as tough. Real quick, how was your cook, just in a nutshell?
So I was trying 2 new recipes on chicken and ribs. Brisket's been pretty solid for me, so I didn't mess with that, and I ran the same brisket. And I took notes, man. Boom. You can see. I was writing this as I was doing it, so I know exactly what I did, so I'm going to try and duplicate that this weekend. But yeah, I did. I incorporated a lot more Cosmos and some Blues Hog as far as the sauces and glazes. But some different rubs that I was trying with, and so anyway, it worked out. I hit a 6 chicken. On my table, there was a first place, a third place, and a fifth place, and I hit 6th. And then I hit a first in ribs and a first in brisket. So all good. Yes, Danny, I took notes, and that was good. So anyway, hit them up next time they do the next one. It's a good time. But that was Seth and Sean from the Dirty Underwear Gang. Up next, I'm going to bring him on right now. There he is. He's been waiting patiently. What's up, James?
Patiently.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Everybody, this is James Cruse from Central City BBQ. James, you cook in Louisiana mostly. I know you travel into Texas and all over the country, but introduce yourself to these mainly Texas cooks that you see here.
I'll do that this weekend. No, I'm
yes,
kidding.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. He's talking smack already.
That's fine.
I'm James Cruse. I'm a pitmaster at Central City BBQ in downtown New Orleans, and I've been barbecuing for about. In fact, I just hit 23 years yesterday.
Damn it, boy!
I know because we have smartphones now that you could backdate and look up stuff, and I know I smoked my first rack of ribs 23 years ago yesterday.
Damn.
Competed for 14 and and here we are.
Well,
enjoying every bit of it.
Absolutely. I met you last year at the Memphis in May. We happened to be cooking next to each other, which was awesome. You guys had a phenomenal double-decker setup, man. They had a case. They had this is the ones you see that you want to go to in Memphis.
It's a good time.
Yeah, double-decker parties right on the river. It was awesome. It was awesome. And some success that weekend.
We did okay. We final was top 3, so I'd say that was a success. I mean, it's first person ever from Louisiana to final in any category of Memphis in May, so I'll take it. And thank you for filming the finals presentation.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
It was a good time, and in fact, one thing I do remember about that is myself and one of my guys helping me, Charles. We're prepping ribs that Friday night. And I probably take 20 minutes per rack trimming these things, right?
Okay.
Next thing you know, we look up, there's a huge crowd, and who do we see? You and Jaybird right dead center watching this the entire time. And
it's called Shiggy.
I was like, who are these guys? Who are these guys with these cameras watching us prep? And then I was like, let's just go with it. And then I think we had a few beverages after, and
yes, that was approved. That was approved. One of your guys said, "Yeah, go for it," because Joey was with us at the time, and you and Joey are boys, and so that was pretty awesome when y'all were doing that. Y'all were going at it. That was How many? So people that have never been to the Memphis in May barbecue contest. They don't know a lot of this information, but it's a pork contest. Number one, the main 3 are ribs, pork shoulder, and whole hog. And most of the competitors out there, how many competitors they have total? Probably 300? 400
from all over the world, really.
Yeah, and most of them do ribs. And what made you? I mean, is that your number one? That's your top? Cook.
Man, that's my baby.
Okay.
It really is. I love ribs. And so I was, we were asked to partner with Bluff City Smokers about 2 years ago. And I've helped out other teams at Memphis in May before. And these guys called me up and said, hey, we want you to be our head cook and presenter. Usually the same usually that person doesn't do both, but I said, why not? I'm competitive, and my first year out I took 12th, and last year was 3rd. So
nice.
Only got 2 spots to climb.
Yes,
but it was a good time. It's a lot of work. I mean, it really is. And you wouldn't think that, hey, I'm cooking one category, but I mean, you look at any other contest you're cooking in, you're cooking anywhere from 2 to 4 maybe racks of ribs.
Right.
Trying to turn in a few bones. Well, 2 years ago I cooked 24 racks. I've heard stories of guys cooking 40 racks. That's insane.
That is insane.
And I cooked. I ordered 24 racks, and I picked the best 20 out of those, just so I could have 2 sets of 10 for the morning of. So at that point, I'm cooking 20 racks that in my opinion, should be world championship quality. So,
good Lord.
Yeah, 20 racks all looking identical and trying to finish approximately the same time, or you could stage them that. You're trying to have the best ribs in the entire world. We'll try to cook 20 of them.
And you wrap 20 racks of ribs at the same time.
With foil?
Oh, I got to think about that. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So what are you looking for? Are you looking for meat? You just mentioned identical, but obviously straight bones or...
Well, I start off with Compar Duroc. I mean, so I'm starting off with a good product.
Right.
All right. Mr. Jim does take care of me. He's got a great product. And when you... and when you start with something like that, it does make it easier. I'm not going to say that you're a shoe-in, but you still have to cook them, you still have to prep them, and they do turn out something that is a great product to start with. And typically there are some straight bones, but when they come in, they go over to Raymond's or Ramon's Meat Market in Memphis, and PK there, he actually takes them a step further. He trims them down, runs them through a bandsaw. So you go from something that actually has your hook and your chine to something that's, I mean, obviously I don't have a measurement here, but it's about 3.5 inches.
These are baby backs as well.
Yeah. Now, another thing, too, they don't touch the meat, okay?
Mm-hmm.
they don't touch the meat or pull the membrane. So I've got to pull the membrane, and on top of that, one reason why it takes so long to trim them, you saw me doing this, I'm actually shaving the meat down as well. So and I want all 20 racks to look the same and hopefully cook the same. And what's crazy is throughout that whole process, I've got 2 sets of 10 racks, right? Then I have my top 10 because you want your best ribs for your blind box, and then your second best for your presentations. It doesn't always work out that way, though, because I was some, let's call them number 2s, and turning those in for my blind box. It's just because they just cook better, you know. It's one of those things that you don't know how they're going to finish, what they're going to do. So it's a good time, and we'll be back, and I'm sure you guys will be there and come hang out with us. We'll probably be the same. Unless they change the layout up a lot, we'll be in the same spot, or roughly the same spot as we were the last couple of years.
Yeah, so Case, they have a blind box entry, and then that gets ranked. And you guys were ranked number 1 out of the blind box entries, right? Yeah. And then they come back, they take the top 3 ranked, and then they have on-site presentations. So these guys have to, so 3 judges come at separate times.
Yeah.
And then at the very end.
They get like 7 racks of ribs each?
No, so... Well, you would think
now.
It felt like that.
They're eating a lot.
Each judge gets 1 whole rack, and
my kind of competition. I'm listening.
Yeah. So after you turn your blind in, you're now visited by 3 judges individually, and you walk them through your whole cooking process, show them your smoking trailer. You got to feed them, and one of the things with that is Jason Pettis. That's a good friend of mine. So one of the things with that is you show them, you have 1 rack of ribs to show this one guy, like, Case, if you're a judge, I have to present to you and tell you a story why that's the best rack of ribs you've ever had in your life, and then prove it to you. Okay?
Like, hey, I scratched the belly of this pig. He giggled. I decided this is the one.
Milked it.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
No, and then to the point where, look, I was told by a very experienced guy early on, hey, hold that rack of ribs up vertical under its own weight. And let me tell you something. 2 years ago, I was like, I'm going to do it. You don't know how nervous I was. I'm like, this rack is just going to fall apart.
Yeah.
So I did it, and I froze for a second. I was like, all right, now what? So last year, I've got some help from a really good friend of mine and mentor, Mark Lambert, on presentation, and he helped me out. I went and visited him, and so any guys out there looking to present, go call up Mark.
You don't have to tell us your whole presentation because we obviously have it on film. But
it's available on Prime Video.
I know we joked about, like, what's the bullet point? Are you talking about yourself? Are you talking about the process? Are you talking about because, these judges obviously have to hear this from, what do you think separates your presentation and something like that? This just sounds wild to me. So I am extremely intrigued.
So part of it is, okay, you have a time limit too. All right. You have, by the time we turned the blind box in, we had a harp and clean up. And the first judge was there within a few minutes, and you're ready to, it's showtime. And you have a maximum of 15 minutes to do everything. Anything over, you get DQ'd. Okay. And I want to say it's a minimum of 10. I'm not sure about that part. But I push time limits. Just like I do with turn-ins at every contest. And so you got to either have a clock in your head, or you've got to have someone as your clock, flashing you, right? And then you've got to cover. You got to pace yourself. You got to. And I'll be honest, we didn't really practice the full presentation at all. We just went with it. And my biggest thing was, I'm just going to be myself. I have some bullet points I wanted to cover, but I was just going to be myself. I'm just a guy from Araby, Louisiana, just right outside of New Orleans, and here to cook some ribs, and here they are. And but at the same time, I'm confident in my rib cook, so that plays into it as well. I've got to convince you why. I can't just say, "Hey, Case, here, try them out. I hope you like them." You've got to have a little confidence in your presentation, and it shows in the food too. If you're confident in your ribs, you will cook a good rib. But yeah, as far as the bullet points, you cover yourself. You tell a little background about yourself. You talk about where you're from. You talk about the team. I always include the team. I mean, look, could I cook 20 racks of ribs by myself? Yeah, and we'll enjoy eating them. But it takes a full team to actually really put together a show, and actually the cooking part too. And it's all the little fine details of every single rack of ribs to finish the same, look the same, taste the same, have the same texture, everything. So I always include the team. It truly is a team effort. And yeah, I mean, like I said, Robbie said we're ranked number 1 going into finals. And the one knock I will say, I can't say it's a knock, but I see that trophy every day at the restaurant. It's the first one like it in Louisiana, and I'm proud of it. But when I look at it, across the top it says World Barbecue Cooking Contest, right? I won the cooking part.
True, you lost.
We just didn't win the dog and pony show.
Yep.
And so, hey, you know what? It gives me something to reach for the next couple of years.
Yep.
Have you thought about adding Jaybird and some eye candy in the background when you're making the presentation?
For who? Either behind the judge or behind me?
Behind you. Just give them something to look at.
Yeah. We might not be having this conversation right now if that would have happened.
That's right. It'd be first place. That was impressive, though, man. You guys were, like you mentioned, you only have a few minutes to get set up. They were moving stuff all around, pulling stuff from the front of the building to the back of the building to the back to the front. It was crazy, and they got it all done. And
I'll tell you this, and I doubt any of the guys are watching that helped us out. But I mean, thank you again to all the other teams, because that is one of the special moments about Memphis in May. You make finals, the surrounding teams that you just competed against them for an entire week, they stop what they're doing and they come on board and they help you out. I mean, you're looking at Mark West from Ten Bones, who is a 3-time Rib World Champion, was back to back to back just the year before. Him and his team are bringing us all of their greenery, their bushes and their trees, just to make the booth, I don't know, look green friendly.
Yep.
Joe and you guys are Rob. Y'all brought us some big rug and some other stuff, and then you had people, and like again, the guys from Ten Bones who Mark came up to me, had a little talk to me in my ear, gave me some confidence, and he said, "Look, the World Championship is right here for you." And he told me a few other things, and he said, "By the way, get out the booth, go stare at the river, go drink a beer or something. Let these people do everything. Calm down, relax, and then go back at it." He said, "You got this." And he was, and that was pretty encouraging. But at the same time, he did set a level of pressure on me.
No, that was very cool to see, man. And congratulations, third place in the world in ribs is quite an accomplishment.
Yeah,
it was awesome. It was awesome. Hey, James, I do want you to mention your restaurant, man. Tell everybody where to find it and all that.
How does a boy from Louisiana become a barbecue cook? There's a lot of things I think about Louisiana, and no knock on. I'm sure it's fantastic. Obviously, the ribs are fantastic.
Well, I'll tell you this.
Yeah,
I mean, these boys from Louisiana can cook. We basically rub. I don't use mustard on ribs. I use a roux from gumbo.
Nice.
Right?
I'm kidding. No,
I was like, damn, I'm all in.
I'm getting ready to write this shit down.
I was all in.
I'll say no. Let me tell you something we got here in Louisiana. You got to realize we were historically an outdoor cooking state. Our entire lives, outdoor cooking. We've always managed fires. We've always cooked stuff. I don't know how some of the other guys got started, but we love eating, and who doesn't like eating barbecue? So you're not going to go out and do what we do if you don't actually at least develop a love for at least eating it at first. But no, we've got some guys that, I mean, Adam Gotro, just won, Louisiana guy, won ribs at Houston this year. We got Barry Smith, 180 at the Royal in ribs. Apparently we like ribs in Louisiana. So we've got some good cooks, and I'll tell you, we bring some flavor.
Where's the joint at in New Orleans?
New Orleans, it's 1201 South Ramparts. It's 8 blocks from the Superdome.
Oh, nice.
We're the largest barbecue restaurant in Louisiana and the Gulf Coast. The restaurant itself is bigger than Shed. They have more property. They have that RV park and everything. But we're now, under normal circumstances, we're a pretty nice live music venue. We've got a big menu, and we cook everything all wood burning. There is no gas. There's no electric smokers. Everything is cooked over wood. So for my guys in the pit room, I have to teach them how to manage a fire. It's one of those things that we can't just load it in the smoker, push a button, turn a dial, and say, "Hey, the gas is going to take over." You have to sift coals, reset, reload. We manage fire, and it's a big thing for me is make sure we're burning with a clean fire. But for the most part, though, like I said, we've got a good place, and things are different. But we've actually we've survived COVID.
Good.
We did a lot of catering, a lot of delivery, a lot of to go, and then once they shift us over to phase 2, which allows us for 25% capacity. Well, we could seat 400 inside the building, so 25% for us is 100. Now, I will say we've probably touched that number every once in a while, but I think people are still being cautious. They still don't want to go there, and if you see there's 100 people or close to 100, you might sit in a patio. We have a really nice patio as well, but for the most part, it's like people are being really careful, and we respect that, and they respect us for the steps we're taking. Wearing masks. They're hard to breathe in, but we have to do it. Wearing masks, everybody's washing their hands, being very cleanly, and we expect the same from our customers as well. But at the same time, we also still want them to enjoy, their food. They want to come in and relax, because if you think about it, some of these people have sat in their homes for months, and then all of a sudden they get to get out and go to a restaurant. So maybe they do want to kind of sit around a little bit longer, and we don't mind.
Nope.
That seat's yours. You come in, you're welcome. When I'm there, I'm walking around talking to people. I probably tell the worst jokes in the world, but hey, they get to hear them.
What's the one thing on the menu that when I'm 8 blocks from the Superdome that I just got to have before I leave town?
We're known for ribs and brisket, and also burn ends. And we do a savory burn end. We don't do the Kansas City sweet thing. We cook CAB prime brisket every day, nothing less than that. And we're actually separating a point and a flat on the line. We're not separating ahead of time. We're setting it on the line. So if you order burn ends, it's being separated from the whole brisket and hand cut right there.
Nice.
And it's not sweet. It's a very juicy, very soft bite. The brisket's really tender. And I'll tell you a quick story. I was right before I left, I was talking to a family from California, and I overheard the dad saying, I don't know what's going on with these ribs. He said, I've always heard people talk about fall off the bone ribs, and that's what they like. These aren't like that. But then I've also heard the competition guys say that they split them a bite. These things are just soft. So I went and talked to him. I said, overheard the conversation. I said, it sounds like you knew what to talk about with ribs. And I sat there and talked to him for about a half hour and, talked about my experiences traveling to Mike's and Toilet. Brisket chili is really good, too. We'll make that our prime brisket. Juan, they're not on the menu right now. So anyway.
Sorry, Juan.
Juan was hanging out with me at the restaurant tonight.
You heard it here first.
Yeah,
right.
So let me tell you what I like to achieve with our ribs at the restaurant. It's one of those things where you go to bite it, it's super soft. There's no tug, there's no chew, but there's a bite mark, and you can hold it up. It's not going to fall apart. It's a very, very, very soft rib. And it's one of those things where I brought in probably over 10 different lines of ribs and tested them all, and I found the certain spec that I like. And we're the only restaurant in the entire region, any cuisine that's using that spec of ribs is proprietary for us. And I'm like, if I'm going to put my name on ribs, it's got to be something I like. And they're good. So either ribs or brisket. And then I've always told people, don't forget about the turkey, though. That smoked turkey breast is very underrated, and it's one of my favorite things. But we do a bunch of other stuff. We do some specials. I experiment with some stuff every once in a while. But
nice. Well,
if you're in town, definitely come check it out. Look, when things kind of get back to normal, it's definitely a destination. Right now, we've got our restrictions that we have to abide by, as do you. So
yeah,
it's a good time.
Well, the last thing I wanted you to touch on is we got a contest this weekend, the doubleheader, BCA. A lot of us are unfamiliar, but after talking to you, we probably are quite a bit familiar with it. But what is the BCA and what's going to be happening this weekend?
It's a contest for only Louisiana guys to win, especially in Texas.
Uh-oh. We'll see.
I can call the governor. We can shut that state line.
All right. No, so the BCA is the Barbecue Competitors Alliance. All right. It's our motto is for the cooks, by the cooks. We started in the first official contest was in November of 2014. We had a meeting in August of 2014, and we voted on it. It's like, we want to start our own. And then what we did was we had one contest that was a long running contest in Louisiana, in Ponchatoula, Louisiana, and that was the first official BCA contest. And then I promoted one 2 weeks later. It was the first original BCA contest. And then since then we've grown. And what we've done and how we want to separate ourselves was, it's still the same format: chicken ribs, brisket, still foil in the box, no garnish, things like that. Still plastic fork and knife judged. All the stuff you guys are familiar with.
Yep.
What we do differently, and I'm saying this under normal circumstances, okay? If we weren't dealing with COVID right now, you would go through, you turn in, you're at awards, it's double blind judges, final table, 2-round final table judging, you have your tickets. They call your tickets out, Rob, you win grand champion, right?
Again? Come on.
Again.
Wow, already?
Come on.
I like this cook-off.
After awards, they'll have the top 10 boxes of each category up there for you to go taste. Okay, so right now we're not doing it, mainly because of safety concerns. And on top of that, as you walk up, Rob, because you probably score 30, first in each category, as you're walking up, we also recommend our judges give comment cards as well.
Nice.
It's one of those things where it's up to their discretion to give them, but they're required if they give a 5 or less. And our scoring system is 2 to 10. 2 is it's absolutely disgusting. It's inedible, blah, blah, blah. 10 is the best you can get. It's unbelievable. So anything of a 5 or less, they're required to give a comment card and tell why they gave a 5 or less. And we do in half-point increments as well. And so if you walk up, if you get a call, they'll have your comment cards up there with your ticket as you're receiving your award. If you didn't walk, if you made final table or just maybe prelims, your comment cards would be on the scoring tables. They'll have all the scores out, so you can go view your scores after as well.
Nice.
You just got to find your number. If you made plus they call it the final table. I believe IPCA does the same thing: 11 through 15 or 18, depending on how many finals teams make the finals. So if you made finals, that's only one sheet you have to go look at. Just go look at, say, final ribs, right? If you didn't hear your number called, you're on a prelim table. Go find your score, and you could sit there and analyze it, but I'd say just take a picture and just walk off to the side and go look at it. Yeah. And then maybe dig through the comment cards and match up your ticket number, and just see if you got a comment card. I mean, I think it's very crucial for new cooks. Okay, so analyze your scores. See, your scores don't tell you where you messed up at, but let's say if you do a first time cook, right, and you see scores of like 6, 7, 8, you're not that far off. You're doing something right. At least run that recipe for 3 contests. If you're seeing 2s, 3s, 4s, you need to change some stuff.
Yeah.
Or obviously, if you get 8s, 9s, and 10s, you probably walk anyway. And you pair a comment card with it. Too much salt, too sweet, too smoky, too chewy, whatever, blah blah blah. If you see that a similar comment more than once, well, there you go. Mm-hmm. Now you match that up with maybe a lower score. Texture probably got you, or spiciness, or flavor got you. And another thing too is what we do, not just not at the contest, but we also offer a class once, and we try to do it twice a year for new cooks. It's our BCA school, and I'm one of the instructors for it. And we have some requirements for it. You can't have won a grand before, and you have to be within a certain number of contests. If you're 40 contests in, you haven't won a grand, I mean, you've got enough experience to almost try to figure it out. But what we want to do is, like Casey or Rob, can't talk to Rob. He's fresh off of a grand. So
yes, those underwear are fresh in the back.
Yeah. Fresh. So I would recommend you take. It's a very inexpensive class, and we go over. It's usually myself and 3 other cooks plus Andy Holloman, the president, his wife, Lynn. They'll run their judging, and we'll go over meat selection, ingredients, everything like a normal class, and then we actually cook. We compete against like myself against the other 3 guys. but the students are walking around watching us do what we do, ask questions, come check out our equipment, come see what we're doing after. And then they get to go judge our entries, okay? So you could walk up to me while I'm cooking ribs and ask me anything you want. And I'm going to tell you something right now. I don't hide a lot, even in the class. I teach a lot. I'm not that guy that's going to say, well, we do brown sugar, tiger sauce, butter, and honey in my wrap. Boom, that's it. No, if I'm not going to tell you something you just go find on Google. So then you go judge, okay?
He just named my rib recipe.
You can see what judges are looking for. And then we go through like a little mentor awards, and they'll call our numbers out, and then we go through our little awards. So they go through the entire process from meat selection through awards, just like a contest. And then they have a Q&A with us after.
Nice.
And they'll ask us, we'll spend a half hour or so longer. We'll give away products. We'll do a lot of things. I mean, like, speaking of products, I've got some rubs coming out.
Sweet.
Yeah. And another thing too, like Nick just said, I've done this a long time. If I know a new cook is at a contest, I'm introducing myself to him and I'll go help him out. Okay. And on top of that, if I know a new cook is headed to a contest, or maybe a fairly new guy's heading, and I know him ahead of time, I'll tell him to come set up next to me. I'll never be that guy that I used to deal with when I first started competing back in 06, 07 in NBN and KCBS, and I would look at this guy, like, he's got some cool smokers, but he won't give me a time of day.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy. I mean, because I was that guy. I was that new cook at one point, and I know what it felt like to be that new cook. And so I've never been that guy to not help somebody out.
Awesome. Hey, two things.
Mm-hmm.
I'll swap you a hat if you bring one. I like that.
Oh, I'll tell you this: we're fresh out of the red and white ones.
Oh,
We have
Oiler colors, man. I gotta have it. That's awesome.
I'm gonna bring you a hat anyway, but we've got a bunch of this is my favorite one. In fact, I'll tell you this: I've got two. Okay, I've got two. Wait, I've got one that I wore today because I actually cooked today. Okay, and the white part is just yellow and brown and faded already. Okay, this is my dress one.
That's a good looking hat. I like the Oiler colors. It
so
hits me right here.
Two things for you real quick before I get up.
Yeah.
Before you go with yours. I've got some products coming out.
Yes.
I've got some rubs to hit the market. We're just waiting on a few labeling things with FDA or health department, stuff like that, and also started a YouTube channel.
Oh, nice.
I'm 3 videos in. I got my 4th one. I'm editing, tonight through tomorrow morning. I release on Friday. Just search Central City BBQ.
YouTube, Central City BBQ.
Yeah, and what I'm doing is with those videos, I'm not just going straight in and trying to be super technical and saying competition barbecue is the only way, because it's really not. It's such a small percentage. I'm talking to the backyard guy.
Cool.
Like the first video was how to cook ribs on a Weber kettle.
Nice.
Second was basic brisket recipe. And then last week, I did just how to grill boneless, skinless chicken breast, because people mess those up all week, every week. And then this week I did All-American Burger leading into Labor Day.
Awesome.
And I'll touch on the competition stuff at some point. I just right now I'm touching on the basics, and helping out the regular guy. Like, I haven't injected anything yet. It's really his backyard stuff.
Well,
but I'm gonna bring you a hat though.
We appreciate it, bro. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
After all the Louisiana comments, the only thing I have to remind you when you wake up and tuck your tail, I-10 goes east.
Hey, so how many Louisiana boys are coming?
Not as many as I had hoped. We have a few of us. I know myself, Juan Machavias, he's coming with me. We've got Nakia White.
Okay, nice.
And by the way, anybody watching, Nakia White is basically like a mobile barbecue store. He really does. He has a ton of stuff. He reps a bunch of companies. He'll have a bunch of stuff.
Sweet.
We got Justin Corville. I'm pretty sure he's coming. Big Cat, who's and Justin. Well, Justin's not on Facebook. If Justin was watching, I'm gonna tell you something right now. Justin uses my rubs, and he does well.
Nice.
And but every time he walks, I'm like, so "What rubs you using?" He just smiles. He doesn't acknowledge it. Like, he's
terrible.
And maybe Barry Smith, but for the most part, I know at least 4 of us are coming. And look, we're looking to meet some of you guys over there. I know a bunch of you guys already, but I would love to hang out and meet a lot of the other Texas guys. And
we'll definitely this knowing Robert Smith, who's waiting in the wings, he's gonna have a good little
We're way past his bed.
Friday night party.
Who who is more joyful than Robert Smith?
Nobody.
When you walk up to him.
No, he's awesome.
Santa Claus.
Dude, when you approach Robert Smith at a contest, you would swear he hasn't seen you in 20 years, and you were his best friend his entire life.
He's a great ambassador for barbecue. That's
Absolutely,
sure.
yeah.
And last thing, I got to talk this guy into making it, but you got to try Fong's gumbo. This is a little Vietnamese dude who makes some badass gumbo.
He sucks at pork chops.
He sucks at pork chops and chicken.
But I saw a comment. It's called "Donated Gumbo." Is that the name, or is that just?
That's not him. That's not him. Oh, he did. I'm sorry. Yeah, he did donate gumbo at the cook-off.
Oh, he donated gumbo.
Donated gumbo. He had gumbo for everybody.
Donated.
He normally does that.
Donated prize money.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's not watching right now. But the man can cook some gumbo.
I'm looking forward to it.
And egg rolls.
That's
not a joke. That's good.
We're looking to have some fun, and look, come hang out. We'll talk some more, and I'll see you guys this weekend.
I'll get him on right before you say hi.
What's up, Robert Smith?
Robert.
What's up,
Robert?
There he is.
Remind you, boys, if they end up in San Antonio, they took the wrong I-10.
James, thanks for coming on, brother. We appreciate it, bro, and we'll see you this weekend.
I'll see you Friday night.
All right, take care.
We're going.
Safe drive.
All right.
Drive safe is what I meant to say. There you go. All right, later, bub. See ya. Robert, what's up, man?
We're way past Robert's bedtime.
Man, I'm going to tell y'all one thing. Y'all kept me up late, didn't you?
We did. We're trying to work that into this weekend. So this weekend, we're going to have a good week. Good time.
Yeah.
Good. How many? First off, let's take a step back. What is going on this weekend in Hempstead, Texas, brother?
Yeah, so this weekend in Hempstead, Texas, we're having Battle of the Border. We're bringing a few cats from Louisiana and some cats from Oklahoma and Arkansas, and we're bringing them down here to the little town of Hempstead, Texas.
Nice.
We're going to cook a little barbecue.
Yes, we are. What are we cooking exactly?
Yep.
Well, you just mentioned.
We're doing. It's just a normal old BCA. Can you guys hear me? Okay, it's kind of funny on my end.
You're good.
Fine.
Good. Alrighty. Yeah, so it's just a normal BCA. It's just brisket, ribs, and chicken. It's just your normal IBCA on steroids. It's not a KCBS because we're not putting shit in a box, but it's good feedback. It gives you. I cooked my first one probably 2 months ago, and I actually got the hookup from Lee Hickle. Lee Hickle told me. He said, if you go do one, you'll go do another one and another one and another one. And I've done every one of them since then.
You like them, huh? You like them. So how many teams? I know this is a doubleheader.
It's
a doubleheader going on
it is a doubleheader. So
and Sunday.
What I'm getting the feel out of my cooks is that everybody loves doubleheaders, but nobody wants to cook them.
Because they're hungover.
Yeah. So
hey, I'm coming to do Saturday. But I'm pretty sure if they get some walks and get some calls, those will be the ones lined up to do Sunday.
Well, I have a plan to do Sunday and film Saturday for this fake internet show Saturday. We have. Yeah.
That'll be good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm thinking right now we're probably going to be short because, like I said, the number one deal is I did this cook. It's for the cookers, because I love to cook my ass off. I love to go every weekend. I'm not going to, if you guys follow me at all, it's wheels up. I'm going somewhere.
Yep. Up.
This weekend it'll be wheels up, but I will not be allowed to cook. And man, I suck.
So what can we expect Friday night at this deal?
So Friday, whenever you come rolling in and everything like that, we're going to get everybody set up, get everybody put in place. This is not going to be your normal cook-off, guys. I couldn't stress that enough. This is a picnic. It's a way for everybody to relax. And when else have you ever had anybody say, "Hey, bring your shotguns"?
Bring your shotguns.
Wait, what? Do the Oklahoma people know this?
Yes, we're having a skeet shoot. We are having a skeet shoot. It is on private property, so bring your shotgun. We're going to sit out there and we're going to shoot skeet. If a bird flies by, shoot it.
All right.
So, what is there safety precautions for the young people like Fong?
Yeah. We've got 20 gauge.
Okay.
So aren't you having bands out there, or is that not? Is that something else? Did I hear
Yes,
something?
yeah. So what it is number one, it is open to the cookers. Excuse me. But all of my judges, because we're gonna have 60. I'm looking at right now, probably having anywhere from 60 to 70 cooks. So that's a lot of judges. I'm bringing in the judges, and we'll have a little, an event for them to enjoy themselves. And of course, we've got about 40 acres, 50 acres. So we'll be socially distancing and have everybody kind of spread out. And the good thing is the way this event's going to be coordinated is it's going to be kind of like a wagon wheel. There'll be teams, all spread out. You shouldn't have to leave your site to go and experience any of the sounds or anything like that. You should be able to just stay in your spot and enjoy your evening. And even when it comes down to awards, you shouldn't have to walk very far. You shouldn't have to be jumbled up on top of anybody, and just everybody just kind of having a good time and cooking barbecue is what I like about it.
Awesome.
My biggest deal is I'm getting old. I've been doing this for 15 years. But there's so many new cooks that are coming up that want to do good, that want to keep going. And when I did my first BCA, I was like, this is great for our upcoming cooks. I mean, we've all been there. When we first started, we went and we ran a recipe, and man, it didn't work, and we didn't get a final table. So what do? We go and we throw that damn recipe away, and we go find another one. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we wind up in the same spot. And that's one thing that I really liked about BCA is it's really close to KCBS. You can actually go up there and see what happened, see what everybody thought about your food. I don't particularly like tasting other people's food, and I don't really associate with that, but I like being able to go up there and see where you scored. It's just great. It's great for new cooks. It's great for hell. It's great for us cooks that haven't hit in a while. We all get to swinging, and then all of a sudden we hit a rough spot, and that rough spot can last a couple of weeks. And when you can walk up there and see that rough spot,
yeah.
It also mess your head up too. Start
It will. Oh, look at Case. Case like a couple of weeks. Hey, are you thinning down a little bit there, brother?
What's that?
I said, are you thinning down a little bit, man?
Trying.
I know. Shit, I've put on some pounds. It looks like you're taking them off.
He's lost a fong.
Almost. An entire fong. That's how we're going to phrase it.
Yeah, Case, what are you, 40 down?
Down 40.
Nice. Good job, brother. Good job.
Out fucking standing.
Yeah, he's looking good. Looking good.
I want everybody to know they lied. My wiener's the same size.
That was a question earlier. I don't know if you saw that or not.
No.
Is it true it makes your pecker bigger? Or somebody
I always thought they said something about it would get bigger, and I thought I was a porn star in hiding. That's a complete lie.
Yeah.
Hey, Nakia White said
you need a smaller frame to get a bigger picture, huh?
Yeah.
That's not Case's underwear back there. That's somebody else's.
CJ Bean.
CJ Bean. Nakia White says to tell him about the cornhole contest, which I love to play some cornhole.
Yep. So, like I said, it is we are having a picnic. I am inviting everybody out to enjoy themselves. We've been kind of on lockdown. A lot of us have been traveling a little bit, cooking, and we did this event back whenever this first little thing started, and it was really nice. Everybody kind of took it as it was a invite only. Of course, it definitely wasn't. I throwed it out there to see how many folks would come.
Yep.
And it worked out really good. And that's what I told about this one here is whenever I put it out there, I said I said, take it and run. I said, guys, I can't reach out to every single person that I know and personally invite you. So if you hear about it, you come. If you hear about it, come on. Hell, let's just go cook. Like I said, we're gonna have cornhole. We're gonna and I hope this doesn't wrinkle too many feathers, but I'm gonna try and get them to move the turn-in times up a little bit. I know when we go to competitions, we're sitting there at 12 and we're sitting there at 1:30, and with this one being over 50 teams, we're probably going to be at 12 and 2 and 4. So I'm going to try and get the turn-in times moved up a little bit so that we'll have a little bit of extra time in our evenings to enjoy some of the things, to go shoot ski. We've got a pond out there. I hope everybody brings their rod and reels and goes fishing and catches some fish. And, of course, it is catch and release, so in case you can't be taking that shit home.
You think Fawn brings a Snoopy reel or Superman?
Oh, hey, I'm going to tell you right now, Fong has requested the spot next to the pond.
Dude, he's bringing his Snoopy reel.
Hey, real quick, when can people start setting up?
Yeah.
Can we come out tomorrow?
Tomorrow. We're moving. Yep,
Okay,
we're moving some teams in tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll be moving people that are coming in from Louisiana. I know there's a couple guys that are coming in, Mike Steele and guys. I know Mike's from Shreveport. He's not really from Louisiana, but them guys are coming in. Barbecue champs are coming in. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be really, really good experience for a lot of people. And like I said, it's just we've been. It's going to be a great cook. I try and push as many of them as I can and try and help out as much as I can. I love to cook. So with me, loving to cook. So Saturday morning, I know we're all usually pretty stressed out. So I'll be cooking breakfast on Saturday morning. We're going to have French toast and we're going to have French toast and lots of coffee and Danishes and everything like that. And then come Sunday morning, for that little hangover, we're going to have some breakfast casseroles and all that kind of stuff, and of course coffee and chocolate donuts and the whole 9 yards.
Well,
like I said, I'm gonna come on.
Yeah, no, real quick, and I'll let you finish that thought on there too. But while we got you here, before I let you sneak away and go to bed, because I know it's past your bedtime. But, I don't know how much of the other guests and how much of the show that we talked about tonight. But, James said it good. You're an ambassador to barbecue. You're, super positive guy. But one of the themes in almost every conversation we've had tonight, we've had some good conversations tonight with some great people in barbecue, is wanting something different in judging, things like that, with and we all cook a lot of IBCA events, and not to, and we've had Craig on, and we've had a lot of different people on, and a lot of people don't want change. But with them pausing, and one of the things we've heard, anybody who's watched the show tonight, everyone's talked about how much they enjoy. And is it time to have real change in what IBCA does?
And that's. I wouldn't be having BCA over here if it wasn't time. And like I said, I can't say for anybody else out there. I can just say for how I feel about it, and how I've been, like I said, I've been doing this for 15 years. There's no way for improving as a new cook in IBCA. Not unless you got enough money in your pocketbook where you can travel for 2 years without getting a damn call, or you got enough money in your pocket where you can go take a class. And that's just the way it is. And until, and I don't know if it's these older cooks that don't want to get their ass kicked, or if, they just don't feel like they want to change. But whenever you start changing stuff starts happening and starts moving around and wheels start turning and stuff like that. And some people don't like that.
Yeah, fair enough.
But like I said,
but I know if any of us give us an honest answer.
No. And that's, I tell everybody everywhere I go, it's for us to be better cooks, we have to have somebody coming up behind us. Our sport will die. I mean, and we all know. I mean, our sport is very, and I keep saying sport because it is very, very expensive what we do. It's not a damn hobby.
No.
We spend thousands and thousands of dollars going down the road, and we very, very seldom get that back.
Wife doesn't.
And we've got to have these guys coming up behind us, and we've got to help them. And if IBCA isn't going to help them, I'm going to bring somebody over here that will.
Nice. All right. Well, I am looking at the flyer right now, and so you're going to have Brian Sacco and Darwin Macon. There's some good Texas country, good Texas country musicians. They're going to be out there. There's a cornhole tournament each night, it looks like, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yep.
We've got BCA sanctioned. $175 per day. We'd love for you to cook both days for sure.
Yep.
Saturday and Sunday, 3 meats, chicken, pork spare ribs, and brisket.
Yep.
It's going to be a good time, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be one of those that will be rolling in tomorrow. Because tomorrow at the restaurant we're actually having we're starting a cornhole tournament there that's going to last all the way into rodeo, into our Waller County Fair. So it starts tomorrow night. So there'll be, I don't know, probably 30 or 40 teams going at it at the restaurant tomorrow. So they'll be set up out back, and we'll be drinking cold beer and throwing rocks at them because I can't play cornhole. Quit twisting my arm. Yeah, I'll be there tomorrow night.
And the last thing I got a friendly reminder.
Hey, and
before the weather got bad, the Columbus Cardinals were up 38-0 over Hempstead last Friday.
Ooh.
What? Oh, listen at him. Hey, and something else too. This is, of course, yeah. So we, like I said, this isn't. I'm not out here to raise money for any kind of organizations or anything like that. So I had to get some porta potties because I knew there were some teams that didn't have any facilities. So I got some porta potties. I do know it is going to be 3 days of us being there. So I will have a truck. We're actually going to have a trailer with water coming around. So if you run out of water, they will be there to assist you in putting water back in your trailer. I'm going to have a truck come by on Sunday. Yes, I've got a truck coming by on Sunday. They're kind of expensive. I was hoping to get about $25, but they're going to charge $50, which is kind of steep. But maybe if there's enough of us out there, they will pump your trailer out of your black water and everything. But like I said, we're going to have plenty of fresh water. So if you run out from washing dishes or something like that, we'll be on standby. We'll be there to help. And since I did get pretty good deal on the porta potties, and instead of buying big trophies and stuff like that, I know my guys that travel and that cook, they'd rather have a paycheck than a trophy. So I'm trying right now, I put on a flyer that it's only about 80%, but I'm looking like it's probably going to be close to 90% payback.
Awesome.
Because so it's I'm looking at paying 10 holes, and I'm looking at that 10th hole, probably getting somewhere around $200 put back in their pocket.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to this. I'm gonna tackle it as a So Smoking Gooder show type deal, and also I'm gonna compete Sunday. So my plan is to film Saturday, compete Sunday, and we'll see how that works out.
Hey, well, good. Hey, the good thing is I can help you because I can't cook.
There you go. You can be we can be following you around. But I'm looking forward to meeting some of these. I'm looking forward to showcasing some of these teams from out of state and introducing them to this fan base that we have.
The biggest thing is we come from IBCA where there's what 2,000, 3,000 people, members or whatever. BCA has 170.
Yep.
It's a pretty small organization to be as good as it is. That's the way I feel about it. It's they've
I feel like they've been over there and they've stayed in their little shell long enough, and we're fixing to go take it, and they're going to come over here and cook with us.
Take it easy on us, Rob. Yeah. So, well, thank you, man. Thanks for coming on. And if anybody's still,
yes, sir,
we got room, right? 40 acres. We got plenty of room.
We've got room. We've got plenty of room, and that's a good thing. Don't worry about a 40 by 40 spot because you're going to take up a lot more room than that. You just spread out and spread your legs and get comfortable. We're going to be there for 3 days.
Beautiful. $175 per day. Come on out, join us. We're going to have a good time out there. We got cornhole, we got bands, we've got a cornhole tournament starting tomorrow night. In fact, so
let's be honest, near 90% payout. That's what you wanted to hear.
Yeah, 90% payout. Friday night meatloaf challenge. My wife's going to be all over that. She can make her some meatloaf.
Yeah,
and then there's going to be a $25 players pool each day. So, man, lots going on this weekend at the Husky. So I thought it was Jason told me it's just for fat boys. Jason told me it's called Husky Picnic because it's just for fat boys, but the land is owned by the Huskies, right? Is that what it is?
Yes. So what it is a good buddy of mine. They've got pleasure horses. They do competitions. He's got several world champion horses, and the horses only stay here about 4 or 5 months. They only stay here about 4 or 5 months out of the year.
What kind of horses? What kind of horses?
Just for the fact is they're pleasure horses. These are like $1.5 million horses.
You have to acknowledge the crowd we're here with. Okay. All right.
Okay, so what you have? So a pleasure horse is they just basically have to look good. They look good. They ride around and they got long tails pretty manes. And the girls on top of them they look pretty good too.
Okay, that's better. All right, the address. Address
the horses,
is
hold on. You gotta let me finish.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So the horses only stay here for. So they have 2 ranches. There's another one up in up in Minnesota. So the horses will stay up there half the year, and they'll stay down here half the year because it gets too cold up there, and they'll lose their coat. So the hair grows real thick on them. So they'll bring them down here so they don't have that dramatic change, so they can show them year round.
2 things we learned from Robert.
That's my point.
Pleasure
right
horses, and he was a rodeo clown.
Right, he was a rodeo clown.
Booyah!
Well, there you go. All right. That's it. Tony chiming in 3, 2, 1. Exactly.
Good.
All right, guys. So that's where you'll find them. Robert, thanks for coming on to the show, man. And we look forward to showcasing this weekend.
Like it's always a pleasure. And like I said, as long as we keep looking out for our cooks that are coming in behind us, we're going to go a whole lot. We're going to go a lot further in what we do as a sport. And I'm too lazy to work and too scared to steal, so I got to have something else to do.
Well, it's gonna be. I can tell already. It's gonna be a good time this weekend. So if you're still on the fence of cooking somewhere, come out here to Hempstead and join us. We're gonna be a good time.
Yep.
All right.
We'll have fun.
Thanks, Robert.
Guys.
Appreciate it, Bob. Thanks.
That'll be good.
Wow. Yeah, I wasn't sure I heard pleasure horses. I've never heard those.
I think normally pleasure horses is a conversation for the after show.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Case,
that was a lot of information tonight.
A lot of information.
Rob books everybody. I don't. I just show up remotely on time. So,
Carissa just put in the actual address that puts you there. So 25084. South Highway 159, Hempstead, Texas. That's where I'll be. That's what I got to do this weekend. I got to get ready, man. I'm pretty much ready. I got my notes. Now I just got to find everything that where I put it and get ready to go and join them tomorrow. I think I'm going to be joining them tomorrow night at the restaurant. So that'll be fun. Case, if I told you, well, I'm going to ask you, which episode did we just have tonight? Any idea? You remember I used to count the episode numbers?
No. I think once COVID started, we had like 74 episodes.
I know. We had a lot. And I didn't count them all because I didn't count like the pork chop challenge or anything like that or some silly stuff that we did.
Didn't count the pork chop challenge.
Well, as a full episode. I should have. You know what? I am going to include that one because that was a That was a full episode. That was a fun episode, by the way.
Yeah, suck it.
So this is number. Take a guess. You didn't guess.
50.
Good guess. 55. Number 55.
Pretty good.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
A lot of information tonight, and hats off to everybody who hung out, commented before. I catch up on the comments below. But really, really, really good guest. And not to throw Robert on the spot, and I'll throw it to you also. With IBCA taking time out and stepping back and doing what we agree was the right thing to do.
Yep,
right, big organization.
We did.
But whether they came out and said it exactly, everyone. We had multiple guests all night, 4 different guests that all came out and said they wanted something different. We had multiple comments that said, hey, we want to do something different. And I think Craig alluded to it back when he was still current president. It's tough. And Robert said it, you got 2,000 members.
3,000
it's hard
members.
to make changes when you have that many voices.
Yeah.
And so maybe, some flexibility or some real change to make it more accessible to more cooks, but it was a theme throughout the night. So Thanks to everybody who made the comments tonight. Thanks to have the guest on. I don't think they purposely came out to make that point, but I think everyone made a point tonight. And I do hope that there's an open conversation in IBCA that realizes there's a lot of cooks out there that may try something different. And while you're taking time out, it's time for meaningful change.
Yeah, this definitely has opened the door for these type of sanctioning bodies to kind of dip their toe into our waters for sure and try something and try and get their name out there. And so we'll see how this weekend goes for sure. But, IBCA is still the big dog here in Texas, and, they made their decision in which, like you said, we both agreed on it. But, yeah, it's nothing new. A lot of cooks, including myself, have asked for some changing to the scoring system and whatnot, and they've done some scoring for the cookers of the year. They've changed that. We're still waiting on something for maybe something more meaningful as far as getting a score sheet at the end of the cook off. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. Things like this maybe push some change, so we'll see.
Well, safe travels to everybody making their way to Hempstead. Hour and a half into it tonight, a lot of really good information. Truly enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
Thinking about everybody that was affected by Hurricane Laura, especially our friends from Louisiana and the Golden Triangle area for sure. While we're grateful here in Houston, we know a lot of people were impacted. So if you're in that area, we're thinking about you. To the Wilkersons, absolutely. Man, you are...
I was just going to mention that.
It's a tough thing, and as this community, one of the things, and we've had tragedy in this barbecue community, especially this year.
Yes.
And if you want to find a better, we poke fun, we give each other a hard time, but I can tell you one of the things that resonates throughout when there's a time of need or a time to mourn, we are one big family, and so our thoughts are going out to them for sure. And so keep grinding, guys.
Yes, absolutely. Well said. Well, thank you guys again. Thanks to our sponsors, Eureka Heights Brewing Company, Carbach Brewing, Rectech Grills, Bull Printing Wraps and Graphics, Rick's RV and Repair, the Barbecue Store, and Cosmos Q. I didn't mention them earlier. But looking forward to seeing everybody this weekend. And that's gonna put a wrap on this episode number 55. Okay, so I'll go back to counting now that I've actually did the time to count them.
Nice.
Thanks to Robert Smith with First Class BBQ, James Cruse from Central City BBQ, and Seth and Sean from Dirty Underwear Gang for joining us. That's going to wrap up the show. Thanks, guys, tuning in. We'll see you next time.
For the 55th time, since Rob reminded me, good night, Barbecue Nation. You too, California.
Late.